Surprise! Bonus myth number 6. When we were recording these sessions, one new myth came up all the time. The myth that you do not need HREZ resistance in your rootstock. So far in this series we went pretty deep into the science, into the breeding, into practice, and today we go even deeper. Not necessarily in the matter, but deeper in the ground. Darkness. Not what we generally associate with plants, these photosynthetic creatures that use sunlight to produce and grow. While a large part of the plant is underneath the soil, the rhizosphere, the roots, and they are essential for a healthy tomato plant. And it's the focal point of any good rootstock breeding program. Emil, thus far in the series we've looked a lot at tomato plants from the ground up. You have a different focus in your work. You're a rootstock breeder. What is it that you focus on in your breeding program?
I'm looking for everything soil-borne diseases. How easy is getting the water up to the upper parts of the plant, nutrients, this kind of thing. So that's completely different than a normal esculentum tomato.
In this series it's all about HREZ, our high resistance against ToBRFV. Is this also an integral part of your breeding strategy as a rootstock breeder?
Yes, we have that, because also when we started we found it in Habogaites, and that's one of the lines that we use in rootstock in combination with the normal esculentum. That's how we make our rootstocks nowadays. So that gives us really the chance and the possibility to speed up and really go fast in develop these rootstocks. The root zone is one of the biggest virus reservoirs, and that's why we need HREZ rootstocks.
With Emil, we got a perspective on rootstock breeding. Now let's pay Mike a visit. He's our global portfolio manager and he knows what rootstocks actually mean in practice. So we have HREZ, resistance against ToBRFV. We have it in our science, but we also have it in our rootstocks. Like, what is the added value from a commercial perspective, having a resistant rootstock and having a resistant scion, and maybe the combination of those two? What does it actually bring for the grower?
Yeah. What it brings for the growers is it's pretty simple. The resistant rootstock is blocking the virus coming in from the soil. And if you have a resistant scion, you also block the virus, the potential infection from the virus via other means. So via crop workers, via mechanically or something. So that's the optimum protection for the plant, because you block it from the soil and you block the infection from other means.
In the market, is there a specific reason why some growers choose for an HREZ rootstock, but not for an HREZ scion?
That's a very good question. There are more factors in play. The reason why growers make decisions is not only based on what's optimum from a plant protection point of view, but also a lot of economic factors play a role. So if there's a variety that brings them more production, better prices or whatever, that can be a valid reason that they accept to take the risk to grow an IR variety. But from a resistant point of view, the ideal picture is to have an HREZ rootstock with an HREZ scion. The best way to protect your crop is to have a HREZ resistant scion with an HREZ resistant rootstock. But this always needs to be combined with hygiene.
ToBRFV can survive in soil, substrate and old slabs for months. A resistant scion can still get exposed from below through the root system. A resistant rootstock reduces pressure before it reaches the scion. It's exactly the reason why every modern rootstock variety in the market has TM22 integressed, to protect against TMV and TOMV. And that is why HREZ is doing for ToBRFV. Not for a couple of weeks, but for your entire crop cycle. To understand truly why rootstocks matter, let's revisit the 5 myths we discussed earlier. HREZ stops viruses by sacrificing infected cells. A scorched earth tactic that only works when the viral pressure stays under control. Heat can temporarily boost viral replication, and the root zone is often the warmest place in the greenhouse. HREZ gives us the foundation for high resistance against ToBRFV. And in grafted crops, the rootstock is where that foundation lives. By stopping pressure in the root zone, the science stays protected. High pressure means more replication and more chances for rare mutants. Grafted crops reduce that pressure dramatically. Virus lingering in soil, slabs, tools and water keeps reintroducing new pressure. An HREZ rootstock blocks that constant flow before it can climb upward. When it comes to the full resistance package that we can provide at ENSA, the message is quite clear. Get rooted, protect your crop. Of course, a resistant scion does a lot of heavy lifting when it has HREZ, but there's a lot of potential for viral accumulation in dirty slabs, and a resistant rootstock is the best way to safeguard your crop against ToBRFV. Thanks for watching.